Are we still filming?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
Just give me guys one moment. I'm trying to.
We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Thank you for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting a diploma.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero ir. No puedo hacer.
DMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Deb. Just keeping it real.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
All in together now. We can make it better now. Come on, can we do it? We know that we can. Roll it up, 'cause we know how to show. Roll it out, 'cause we know how to sing. We'll cut it down, we know what to keep. Let's pop it out. We healthy stuff. Can we do it? We know that we can. Do it.
Just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier. Search We Can to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day.
Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of The Message. I'm your host, Danatus King. We'll spend this next hour with one purpose in mind, and that one purpose is delivering the message that God is Almighty. Everything that ever was, is now, or ever will be was made by God. Everything that ever happened, is happening right now, or ever will happen, was made to happen by God. God has a master plan for all time and all creation. God is Almighty. The message is brought to you by, is produced by the Society of Knowledge Incorporated. The Society is an interdenominational, religious, spiritual organization. Our members come from various different religious and spiritual backgrounds. We have various different religious and spiritual beliefs. Although we come from different backgrounds and have different beliefs, there's one belief that we share. There's one piece of knowledge that we hold in common. And that's the knowledge that there is a being. No matter what name we may have been taught to call that being, by no matter what name we may have come to know that being, we know that there is a being that possesses not some of the power, not most of the power, but all of the power. We know that there is indeed an almighty being. That's the reason we do this show, and the only reason we do the show, to deliver the message that that being that personally I call God, that being is indeed Almighty. Today is July the 27th, 2017. I remind that fact because tonight, as we are on most Thursdays, we are live. And I remind you that fact because this show is an open discussion. It's a two-way conversation. Those of you that are watching on television, I invite you to join the discussion by calling in, and that number is area code 504-483-3336. Call that number, join the discussion. Those of you that are watching by Facebook, I invite you to join by calling that number or by leaving a comment in the Facebook Live comment section. If there's something that's going on in your church, your mosque, your synagogue, your temple, your nonprofit organization, call in and share that information with the world. particularly if there's something that God has done for you in your life, a miracle that God has worked in your life. And I use that term literally, a miracle, because the God that I'm here to tell you about is working miracles in the year 2017. Today, I just said that today, let me make sure I have the date right. Yeah, July 27, 2017. The God I'm here to tell you about worked and is working miracles. So if God has worked a miracle in your life, call in, share your testimony with the world. There may be someone that's watching this show right now that's in need of a miracle. There may be someone that's having some financial problems and they've given up. If God made a way financially in your life, call in, share your testimony. Maybe someone that's having some medical problems. Maybe the pills they have been taking hasn't helped them. You know, I know a whole lot of folks, a lot of people in my family that suffer from back problems. Some of them are all different types of drugs. Some of them are afraid to go to surgery. So it may be someone that's watching this show right now that the drugs aren't helping your back problem. You're afraid to go to surgery. There is help, and God can be that help. God can just work a miracle. But no matter what name you may call God, it may be Allah, it may be Jehovah, it may be Jesus, it may be Buddha, it may be nature, by whatever name you call God. God can heal you. Not through medicine, not through doctor, can just heal you. And look, let me share something with you. It doesn't matter if you're a sinner. Understand what I'm saying? You can be a sinner and God can heal you. You know, and look, that's not just me saying it. In the Bible, it talks about thousands of years ago, the Bible talks about God healing sinners. So just because you might not be a church member, just because you might not even believe in a higher power, God can still heal you. All right, call in. If you have some testimony about a miracle that God has worked in your life, call in and share your testimony with the world. We have some guests in the studio tonight, and I understand we do have a call, but before we go to the callers, let me take and introduce our guests. And actually, they've been on so many times now, I don't even call them guests anymore. Our friends, Brother DivinePrince, Emmecca,
Peace and blessings.
and Brother Joshua Tanner.
Always a blessing.
All right, brothers, we're gonna open up the lines. Call, are you there?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. That sounds like Minister Antoine Brown.
It is.
How you
Thank
doing,
God
Minister?
for you releasing a familiar voice. I thank God for the show that I had, the TV that comes on channel 76 at 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. And it's right now, as you will know, I'm back in hospital again. You just said surgery tomorrow, I heard, so being part for me, biopsy or something. And, you know, all this will take me down tomorrow. I'm just asking God to release deliverance, because I'd rather walk and work and do my job. It's just like I shared the testimony on my show. God blessed me to get a motel room. And that's a miracle within itself, because I met a brother I was in Hamlin. And brother, he out, man, I know you the one that was by Chick-fil-A in Baton Rouge. And man managed to go get a credit card from his wife and put me in a room for 2 days in Hamlin.
You see, didn't I just talk about God making miracles happen? I just talked about that. All right, my
brother. You got to be prayed up.
All right.
You got to be prayed up. You never know where your blessings gonna come in at.
right.
How God don't provide a way?
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Minister Antoine Brown, for calling in and sharing that testimony, and again sharing that testimony with the world.
And keep my life in the presence of your prayers. I appreciate it.
All right.
That's all I ask for.
All right. Thank you, Minister Brown. Hey, see, we do have a comment, Facebook comment. Thank you all that are watching by Facebook. Brother Osan, our topic tonight, and I understand that the volume is a little bit low, but our topic tonight is going to be the conflict between religion and spirituality in the black community. And I think actually what's happening is we're picking up the feed on Facebook Live. It looks like we're picking up the feed from a different camera, not from the studio camera. So I'm hoping that we are streaming live on Facebook through the studio camera. We're gonna try to work on that, see what we can do to get that straight. All right, gentlemen, as I said, you all no longer guests, so we're gonna jump right into it. You know, we've had a great discussion relating to the conflict between religion and spirituality, particularly in the black community. We've discussed quite a bit about the religion of Voodoo. So tonight we're going to pick up where we left off a couple of weeks ago, and one particular subtopic, and that's the importance of religion. But before we get to that, for our sake, let's try to define religion. Okay? Religion, Prince.
First off, religion is one of the prerequisites for civilization. When we talk about civilization, societies, that is the one thing the missionaries, the colonizers, held against us. They claimed they found a people who had no God, who had no religion, who had no order, barbarism, if you will, savages, if you will. So the notion that African culture is somehow absent of the very thing that we created, religion, to me is a continuation of a white supremacist dialogue. It is white supremacy that says we don't have culture, we don't have religion, we don't have the necessary things to make what we call civilization happen. So with that being said, and again, Voodoo being the oldest organized religion in the world, many scholars believe that what we view as Egyptian or Kemetic religion and practice is actually one of the forebearers, the ancestors, if you will, of what we now, generally speaking, term Voodoo. I also want to remind the viewers that there is no Voodoo without family, without ethnicity. When we speak of Christianity, we're not being specific. We're not saying Methodist, Sanctified, Baptist, Catholic, and it's the same when we say Voodoo. When you Google search Voodoo, you're going to get very generic responses. In order to get the meat of what Voodoo is, you have to know the families, Akan, Fan, Iwe, Yoruba, Igbo, and the like. And for many African Americans, this is still an unknown territory for us, not knowing who we are, where we came from, who our lineage, our direct lineage is. So I support DNA discovery for filling in those blanks in terms of lineage.
All right, thank you, Prince. I understand we have a caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. That sounds like Brother Chris.
Yes, it is.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Today I have a person out today.
All right. Today.
And he
she was going through something.
All right, say that again, Brother Chris.
Okay, I was helping somebody out today.
You said you went out today?
No, I did somebody. No, I said I helped somebody out today.
All right, yeah, you helped somebody out today. All right, brother.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he was down about along. So I said, why don't we just pray? And a few minutes later, God turned it all the way around. He is feeling better. Now, I put the fire up the morning.
Yeah, well, that's Sister Michelle coming out of LA. All right, watching on Facebook. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's go back, and we were speaking about religion, and as you were saying, were saying as far as voodoo, and there being not different brands of voodoo, but that being kind of like an overarching title, the same way Christianity overarching from Baptist, Methodist, and the rest of that. But let's see if we can kind of take that a little bit further as far as what the concept of religion, period. And let me share a little bit about my opinion on it, and maybe try to frame it a little bit. My opinion about religion is that it's really a process of recognizing that there is a greater power and trying to get closer to that greater power. And that's just in that framework. All right, brother Joshua, brother Tanner.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% when you say that. I know personally with my journey, when I started studying religion, I actually started studying just the meaning of the name itself and looking up the etymology of that word, which the word means to is the first part of the word, which is to do again, or to make it happen again. And religion is to bind, to bring together. And I mean, my personal experience growing up Christian in church when I was younger, and underneath that system that did not really fulfill my needs that I needed at the time. It was really, I really had a bad taste in my mouth at first for religion. For a couple of years when I first started to really understand what was going on, what I was involved in, and I was like, this is not what it should be. I always felt that and I always believed that. And I continued to just study and to examine myself as a man, as a person, and to examine my environment that I'm around. And when we talk about that, we talk about ecosystem. As men, we are involved, we are on this planet called Earth, where we have plants, we have animals, we have all types of land masses in water and animals in water, and it's all animals in air. So it's like you have to understand your place in that ecosystem, and that ecosystem is with the learnings and education of African traditional religion. It actually taught men with those systems how they're related to that, which could be the higher power, which could be the sun, which could be forces beyond you, this physical realm, spiritual realm, which Voodoo, its name means spirit, and it teaches you step by step how you relate to it, how you experience it, how you deal with it, how you implement it, and how you move forward with it. in the correct manner. And that's something that was missed. I mean, that's something that we all missed, especially in the black community. We talk about the black community, we're talking about the conflict between religion and spirituality. That conflict is the fact that the religion that we've been given here in the black community has not fulfilled our needs. When we can look at that simply by looking at family. We can simply look at families in the black community. We'll be like, okay, family, we don't honor or respect or look to our families to really see those aspects of mother, father, child, and understanding those dynamics of what those components, how that holds up the community, and how that sustains the community, and how that's important to even have a community. I've talked to a lot of community leaders throughout my time in black communities, and it's shocking to me that how many people, when I come to them and ask them, what is the foundation of community? They don't have an answer for me. They don't understand that family is the answer. Family is important. Understand your relationship to, not even if you don't even have a mother, father, or a component like that, understanding your relationship to the community, to your neighbor, to your whatever it may be, the store down the street, the gas station down the street on the corner, how that affects you personally. And that's a big thing. I mean, that's going into economics, but that's all related to community.
All right. Well, you know, I just want to take a brief break here. Thank Sister Johnson for tuning in on Facebook, Sister Washington. I see my wife is tuned in, thank you. And everybody that's tuned in on Facebook, please hit the share button. Okay, hit the share button and share this. Help us deliver the message that God is Almighty. Again, the call-in number, if you want to call in on the phone, that's 504-483-3336. And for those of you, our website, our main website, that's www.godisalmighty.org. www.godisalmighty.org. You know, we've spoken about the differences in religion, and Brother Tanner, you said that in your search, that some of the traditional religions and church services really wasn't reaching you, wasn't touching you. Yeah. And that's I know just from being around you, listening to you, being around you, listening to you, Prince, I know that both of you gentlemen believe that there is a higher being. Now this is the question. Okay, this is the issue. If indeed there is a higher being, now it's either one of two things. Either that being is almighty or it's not. If that being is indeed almighty, then if it was the will of that being that everybody would believe the same, that's how it would be.
That, for me, it has a Eurocentric white supremacist foundation. Right. What you just said. Mm-hmm. It's either A or B.
All right.
It's either this or that. Mm-hmm. And we don't organize thought. We don't organize spirit. We don't organize nature in that way in traditional African culture.
Okay, so now that's
when we say,
go ahead, Prince.
There's an Almighty, but then that Almighty breathed Himself out into all creation. Then is the cow mightier than the human? Is the human mightier than the planet? Is the sun mightier than the moon? And that's a battle, a dichotomy that we take on from colonization, from white supremacy, from the notion that we need to colonize and tame all life. And Africans did not think in that way. And so God is present in all things, in you, in me.
So Brother Prince, having said all of that, is God also present in the European?
Absolutely.
So the European, the African, the Chinese, all part of one body?
Human body.
No, all part of one body. This watch, this ink pen, these eyeglasses, everything that ever was, is now, ever will be, is it all part of one body?
Are we talking about science, or are we talking
I'm
about
talking
religion?
about whatever terminology you want to put on it, is everything that ever was, is now, ever will be, all part of one.
It's all voodoo. It's all voodoo.
Is it part of one?
Yes, but you're trying to force me to take a Christian stance, and I'm not a Christian.
Brother,
You're trying to force me to take a biblical stance on something, and I don't believe in the Bible. God is in everything. This dichotomy, black against white, one against the other, that is a colonizer's, white supremacist mindset. We are all equal in the body of God. God spewed us all out from his body, from her body. The fact that we even speak of God in masculine terms is white supremacist
Well, let's get
and
some
Eurocentric.
Okay, let's get some understanding. What I'm hearing you saying is us and God. What I'm saying is that there is no us and God. There's only one, but no matter what name you call it, I choose the term God. God meaning the all in all. There's no God over here, man over there, the all in all, the one.
So is dirt God?
Part of.
But you didn't allow me to say part of. You didn't allow me to say that we're all a part of that. You tried to force me to choose one thing over the other, which is what our black preachers do.
You know something? This is fantastic because this is a discussion.
Yeah.
You know, this is and I'm enjoying this, Brother Ten.
Yes.
All right, look, I'm asking that everybody want to join in on this.
I understand what you mean by Almighty, and when you say Almighty, you have to really understand what you're saying. You talking about the omnipotent, omnipotent God.
Omniscient.
Like,
what are we talking about?
Like, this is very, and we don't understand God, but we can just say God is everything. Yeah, God is everything. We can say God is in everything. God shows through everything, and that's one thing that we talked about. I think a couple of shows earlier, we talked about how I'm talking about my experience. I was taught that God was outside of me. God, I had to like sit down and have a conversation with God, and yeah, but not to the sense of understanding that God is within me. He works through me in the sense of I'm really understanding that. We always put ourselves, in understanding Christianity, speaking of that specifically right now, the flesh. Like, the flesh is bad, and it's sinful to operate in the flesh. I'm like, we operate in the flesh. How our lives are sinful then, automatically, just because we exist. If that's the case, and I don't see myself as that. I see myself as a person that goes out and does good things and good deeds to people and help people out, and give of myself. I'm not, and that should not be looked upon as something that's of the flesh or sinful.
And if we indeed are part of the whole, the one, why then do we need the Christ to come and save us? Why then do we need someone often depicted outside of who we are, not our color, not our culture, not of our origin, but we need that to then save us, if we're unified, if we're all one?
That's a great question. That's a great question. And another question is, if there is nothing but one, what is it that we need to be saved from?
Correct. That's a good question. I feel like, we talked about evil before. I know I shared my good and bad, or bad and evil, but that's all etymology and that's all words. But there is an evil that really does exist, and that evil is your ego. That evil is your ego that comes out of yourself, that's all about self. That doesn't look outside of yourself into the ecosystem at the things that you affect. People, plants, animals. So if you operate in ego to live or to be who you are, that's evil. Like, you cannot, that's not loving at all. Like, everybody talk about God being love. Love is everything. God and love is one and the same. All those things. But if you really get down to it, and if you really believe that, you have to analyze what you do. You have to be accountable for what you do. And that's one of the big things that I really feel like there's a conflict that's in the black community, along with spirituality and religion, and understanding those things, is the accountability. No one holds no one accountable for the things that they do. And it's not a free-for-all, but it's just, it needs to be raised, the accountability level.
All right, that accountability, that comes back a note that I had here, something you said earlier, and that was about sin. Before I get there, Sister Hall, Sister Jones, Brother Pishon, thank you for tuning in on Facebook Live. I appreciate it if you share this. And again, the discussion, and as I said at the beginning of the show, and I said at the beginning of every show, everything that goes on this show is one purpose, not to convince anybody, to convert anybody to this religion, that religion. One reason, and that's to deliver the message that there's a being that's almighty. And I'm grateful and thankful tonight as to what that being has moved to happen tonight. And that's having a dialogue, a discourse, a conversation, a discussion, an open discussion about the concept of religion. We're going to take a break in about a minute, but before we take that break, I want to give the Prince and Brother Tanner an opportunity to give some closing thoughts. After the break, we're going to come back. We're going to do our announcements and some words of inspiration. But I do want to make the announcement that for those of you, and it's great, those of you that have been tuning in for the past few weeks and appreciating the Prince's presence and Brother Tanner's presence, that the Prince has agreed, Prince, that there's a little short clip that you will be submitting and we'll be able to air on the show.
Absolutely.
And I want to remind all of our viewers, if you have a religious organization that you want to participate as far as a thought for the day, a little short video clip, 3 minutes to 4 minutes at the max, submit it to us so we can get that out there. And one purpose. So having said that, and before I do that, I just want to say something. And the thing I want to say is that this past weekend, I went to the show, to the movies. And I've never been in a building that packed with women except for Essence. But I went in there and I'm looking around, I might have been like just one of like 3 or 4 men in the whole packed theater. And that's because I went to look at Girls Trip. And I bring that up because one of the actors in Girls Trip, Brother Joshua Tanner. So we have a movie star. We have 2 movie stars that are here. Neither one of them give me a loan yet, but I'm asking for a loan. 2 movie stars here on the set. But I just want to, and this is some encouragement, and encouragement that if the Spirit is moving you to get involved in the entertainment field, don't think that just because you're here in New Orleans, Louisiana, that you should give up on your dream. That here are 2 brothers here that are employed actors. So hopefully that could be some inspiration for someone that's watching now. And I'm going to throw this out there. They haven't said anything about it, but if you are interested in that field and maybe want to find out how you get involved, call me and I'll talk to these brothers to see if they will share some information on how you get involved in that industry. All right, so brothers, as we close out, matter of fact, what we'll do is, because I know y'all brothers can talk a long time, I say a minute apiece, and then we're gonna take a break. We always start off with you, Prince. We're gonna start off with Brother Joshua.
Well, I just want to say that I'm here just to really to continue to move the conversation forward and to continue to evolve our understanding of life and the pursuits of the things that we love to do. I do act as Danatus just say, but I'm here as I don't have to be here, but I choose to be here, and I give myself to be here because I know it's not just about me. It's not just about me being on TV or movies or anything like that. It's bigger than me. It's what lasts beyond me, after me, and that's what this is all about: inspiring the youth, inspiring anyone that is inspired by the life that I live to move forward and continue to move forward.
Thank you, brother.
Blessing.
Thank you. Prince.
I say respect the voodoo, respect the ancestors, respect that we are operating in 24 hours a day. There were some that say that I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have what I have. I shouldn't have accomplished what I've accomplished. I shouldn't have reached the goals that I've reached. And I give all the credit, all the honor and the glory to the voodoo and the ancestors whose shoulders I sit upon, the ancestors whose shoulders I stand upon. All is a blessing.
Brother Prince, we've been remiss tonight. Tell our viewers about your radio show and your website.
My website is www.houseofthedivineprince.com. I can be reached virtually 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. My direct email address is DivinePrince@houseofthedivineprince. I also do a daily internet radio show. Brother Joshua is often a co-host on the show at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-divine-prince. 12 noon U.S. Central Standard Time each and every day. Our phone number is 347-215-8967.
All right, and viewers, if you didn't get that information, you could always give me a call. I'll get it to you. But you can also go to the Prince's website. Is that correct?
Yes, www.houseofthedivineprince.com.
All right. All right, I want to thank our guests for being, no, not guests. I want to thank our friends for returning to the show, being on the show tonight. And I look forward to getting that spot, that video clip, so that we can air it. Viewers, those of you that have called in, left comments, thank you. Brother Joshua, thank you, brother.
Definitely, anytime.
All right, and we're gonna take a brief break. We'll be back in about 90 seconds for the second part of our show, delivering the message that God is Almighty.
People who suffer from drug or alcohol addiction sometimes say hurtful things. They drive the people who love them most away. If you know someone who suffers from drug or alcohol addiction, listen. Try to hear what they are really saying.